Hello everyone, I'm Manuel, the FluencyBringer, and this is episode 20 of the Fluency Podcast. In today's episode, we're gonna learn when to use accent marks in Spanish. Hey guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing great. I know many of you have a lot of trouble understanding when to use the accent marks or the tildes in the Spanish language. So in today's episode of the Fluency Podcast, I want to teach you when to use these confusing tildes. So let's talk about the Spanish orthographic accents, also known as tildes. So the Spanish accent marks are usually placed on only 5 vowels. A, E, I, O, U. Okay, so these 5 vowels are the only vowels in which you put the accent marks in the Spanish language, okay? And here we got some examples. Árbol, 3. Árbol, 3. Teléfono, telephone. Teléfono, telephone. Colibrí, hummingbird. Colibrí, hummingbird. Corazón, heart. Corazón, heart. Útil, useful. Útil, useful. So these were some examples of words that have a tilde in them. Árbol, teléfono, colibrí, corazón, and útil, okay? Now, regarding the types of words with orthographic accents, we have 4 types. And the first one is agudas. These words have an orthographic accent placed in the last syllable. If a word ends with a vowel, an N, or S, and is stressed in the final syllable, it requires an orthographic accent. Some examples of these are también, also. También, also. Algún, some or any. Algún, some or any. Jamás, never. Jamás, never. Café, coffee. Café, coffee. Bebé, baby. Bebé, baby. Okay, so these were some words that belong to the agudas category, okay? So remember, these words have an orthographic accent placed in the last syllable if a word ends with a vowel, N, or S, and is stressed in the final syllable. Now, the second type of words with orthographic accents are graves. These words have an orthographic accent placed in the penultimate syllable. However, not all the second to last syllable stressed words have an orthographic accent. If they end in a vowel N or S, they don't require an orthographic accent. For example, martes, Tuesday. Martes, Tuesday. Adulto, adult. Adulto, adult. Zapato, shoe. Zapato, shoe. Problema, problem. Problema, problem. Volumen, volume. Volumen, volume. So these were some words that end in a vowel, N, or S and don't require an orthographic accent. Okay? So let's look at some words that do have an orthographic accent and are graves, okay? The first example we have is cárcel, jail. Cárcel, jail. The second example we have is azúcar, sugar. Azúcar, sugar. The third example is césped, grass. Césped, grass. The fourth example is útil, useful. Útil, useful. And the last example we have is devil, weak. Devil, weak. All right, so these were some examples of words that are graves, that have an orthographic accent placed in the penultimate syllable. Now, the third type of words with orthographic accents is esdrújulas. Esdrújulas have an orthographic accent placed in the antepenultimate syllable or third from the end syllable. These words always have a written accent. Okay, so these are some examples. Válido, valid. Válido, valid. Lágrima, tear. Lágrima, tear. Oxígeno, oxygen. Oxígeno, oxygen. Máquina, machine. Máquina, machine. Música, music. Música, music. All right, so these were some examples of esdrújulas. And the last type of words with orthographic accent is sobre esdrújulas. Now, these words have a written accent in the first to last syllable. Similar to esdrújulas, these words always have a written accent, okay? Also, esdrújulas come in the form of direct and indirect objects, as well as adverbs, okay? These are some examples. Envíamelo, send it to me. Envíamelo, send it to me. Tómatelo, drink it. Tómatelo, drink it. Fácilmente, easily. Fácilmente, easily. Difícilmente, hardly. Difícilmente, hardly. Lléveselo, take it. Lléveselo, take it. Okay, so these were some examples of sobre esdrújulas. Okay, so these are words that have a written accent in the first to last syllable. Now, why is it important to know about these orthographic accents or tildes? Well, because they do change the meaning of words, okay? Forgetting to use orthographic accents is not good. There are several words that can be differentiated by adding accents to them. For example, L with an accent in the vowel E means he, a pronoun. Whereas L without the accent or tilde means the article. Okay? Another example of this is sí with a tilde in the I. It means yes, an affirmation. However, if it doesn't have a tilde in the I and we just say sí, it means the conditional if. The third example is te with an accent or tilde in the E. Okay? This one means T. Whereas te without the accent or tilde in the E, it means you, an object. Another example is sé. Sé with an accent in the E means I know. Whereas sé without the accent or tilde means a reflexive and indirect object pronoun, okay? Other examples are más with a tilde, more. Más without the tilde, but. Cómo with the tilde, how or what. Cómo without the tilde means like or as. Tú with a tilde or accent means you as a pronoun. And tú without the accent means your, a possessive adjective, okay? And the last example we have is me with a tilde, which means me, a pronoun. And me without the accent means my, a possessive adjective, okay? So as you can see, the use of the tildes or the accents in the Spanish language is very important. Without them, we will have a lot of trouble understanding the difference between different words, and we won't be able to know what word to use in certain situations, okay? So be sure to learn when to use the tildes and the accents in the Spanish language so you don't have any trouble understanding when to use one word and when to use the other, okay? So I hope you found this helpful, and thank you very much for listening to this episode of the Fluency Podcast. Hey guys, thank you very much for listening to us today. If you really like this episode and want to get more exclusive content or monthly group coaching to improve your Spanish skills, you can go to our Patron and support us there. We will really appreciate it.